There is nothing wrong with your internet. Do not attempt to adjust your settings. We are controlling the podcast. We control the squealing and the screams. We can make your heart flutter, your eyes blur from tears, or sharpen your mind to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit back. We are in control of what you hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your settings. You are about to experience the awe and mystery known as the female mind. You are now entering the Fangirl Zone.
Welcome to the Star Power Podcast on the Fangirl Zone, a podcast where we discuss Stargirl on the DC Universe streaming service and CW channel. I'm Dave.
I'm Sean, Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve, and tonight we'll be discussing episode 13 of season 1 of Stargirl. And we have a returning guest with us this week, as Kim from the Nerd Element is back to discuss the finale with us.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for having me. That's a great opening, by the way. I like it's very clean.
I mean, we would give you more fanfare, except I still haven't figured out how to do that. So, no sound effects. Sorry.
Yeah,
I thought there was plenty of fanfare in my voice.
We've had so much happening. I'm just excited that we actually have season 2, and they've officially announced it because they gave us a graphic.
Yes.
So, yeah.
You don't understand. Steve and I have been through so many seasons of shows that just go away.
Yeah.
So, this makes me happy. Sorry.
Yeah, we do have a little bit of rating news as DC Stargirl's season 1 finale on the CW hit a 5-week audience high with 0.861 million viewers while posting an 11th straight 0.2 demo rating.
Nice.
Very nice.
Good. It's always good to get a high.
Yes.
Okay, episode 13, Stars and Stripe Part 2, as the Injustice Society of America comes one step closer to accomplishing their mission. Courtney and the JSA face off with Icicle and the villains of the ISA. It was directed by Greg Beeman, and the episode was written by Jeff Johns and his team. I looked up Greg Beeman quickly, because
that sounds really familiar.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
He's done executive producing on Stargirl, The Rookie, Timeless, American Gothic, Minority Report, Falling Skies.
Yes.
Heroes,
you should remember that.
Huh?
Sean should remember that.
Yeah.
From our time on Falling Skies together.
I probably know there's a good reason that I know that name, but yeah. Well, now I do. Yay!
He's done a lot of direction for Lucifer, Stargirl. He did one for Batwoman and Nancy Drew, a Swamp Team Charm, The Rookie, Timeless.
Gosh.
He's got his hand, a couple of American Gothic, Heroes Reborn, Falling Skies, of course. 13 of those.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did. Even as far back as Smallville, he was directing episodes. So that's a busy guy.
He had his fingers in a lot of pies.
Yeah.
I feel like I probably met him then at some point.
Yeah.
He was probably like walking through like a panel, like nobody acknowledged him. He was like there, but nobody knew who he was.
Well, you probably met him and said, "Hey, I'm Greg B-Man." And you go, "B-Man? What kind of superhero name is that? Get lost."
I know. Come on. Anyway, or Sportsmaster.
B-Man. Where's your stinger?
It sounds like it should be a tick villain. I'm just,
Yeah.
Right.
That's great. Tick villain.
Okay, sorry. Back to Stargirl. Got it. Hey, Dave.
Yes.
3 minutes ago. Like, did anybody else expect like a really cheesy voiceover there, or just me?
Well, they kind of do that all the time. Get a title card to put us in place or what's going on. Good thing sometimes, because there's a lot of TV to watch out there. And there's a little catch-up. Not every show does a recap at the beginning.
Right.
Which is pretty helpful.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is.
Who died? Oh, yeah, that guy died? Oh, right. So no one died to start with, but Isaac Bowen hits a bully, and then everyone comes running across the football field. And Mr. Levine, the teacher, goes, "What'd you do? Look at him." He goes, "He called me tuba turd."
I'm sorry, that poor... Okay, first of all, the poor kid. Like,
I know.
he just looks like, he called me a tuba turd. I'm like, okay,
No.
he's going to flip out, like,
Yes.
for real, and start, like, whacking everybody within reach of that tuba, so everyone should take a step back. But, I mean, when he's like, I'm sorry. When the teacher is just all of a sudden like, what would your mother say? She told me to do it. I'm like, all right, look at his face.
He gritted
Kid
his
is
teeth.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs right now. So seriously, everyone should have taken a giant step backwards.
Well, they couldn't move after a short while.
Well, that's true.
Naturally, giant antenna dish, the satellite dishes come out of the middle, which is pure, I don't know,
X-Men?
Batman? X-Men? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It was so crazy. Of course that's where it is, underneath the football field. Everyone gets a little sparkle in their eyes. What should we call it? A blue twinkle?
Yeah, there you go.
And they all freeze and everything. And as we look where no one's taking a step back in downtown Blue Valley there, the little girl's like tugging at her father's sleeve, like, come back. And Jordan comes up and gives her his vision of America and everything's going to be all right. And he's going to be a good person. And she had a great comeback.
Yeah.
He is a good person.
And I am double checking this information, but isn't that little girl Iron Man's daughter?
She looked really familiar. That's what I thought for a second, and I wasn't sure. I was like, I have seen this little girl
it is.
before.
That's Lexi Rab.
Right.
So I wasn't 100%. I had to actually triple check it because I was told twice. But it took me a second. I'm looking at her going, wait a second. Is that? Hold on. So, hey, now she has Marvel and DC under her belt.
Oh, now she's typecast.
She's a
Age of like
superhero.
6.
Oh, back to the tunnels. The ISA tunnels. In case you're wondering where we were. As we left in the previous episode, S.T.R.I.P.E was about to take a big punch at Courtney, and we all winced as they faded to black. We're like, oh no, I thought he was actually going to connect, or they'd come back and she's going to have to block him with a cosmic staff, but she just did a roll, tumbles out of the way, starts pleading to him.
Yeah, all that gymnastics has come in handy lately, especially this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Later on in the fight, just jumping ahead, she did this twirling thing that turned into a sidekick while she was in the air. I'm like, wonder how the heck did they do that?
Yeah, I was like, okay, I can get the flip, I can get maybe the jumping kick, but I'm like, how did they
That was without the staff too, I think. Yeah.
I was like, that's pretty impressive. Whoever her stunt person is, that they just can do that because
I know.
Wow, I'd have fallen on my head even trying. Even when I was her age.
We need you to get a cosmic staff. I missed the last podcast, as you know. And my closing line was going to be, in the final episode, we're going to have our first cosmic staff meeting.
Oh.
I still had to throw it in there. It's not as funny anymore, sorry. So anyway, Mr. Levine drops dead because he's fighting the blue twinkle. It turns out 25% of the people who their brainwave are trying to take over will end up fighting it. It affects their nervous system, and you drop dead. So not too much of a perfect America there. 25% gets wiped out.
Right.
Yeah, right. And the gambler, oh my gosh, could he have been any more obnoxious with it? Oh, maybe if she keeps fighting it, she might not make it. I'm like, you know what? Get your little box of snuff and get out of my face because I can't.
So Pat begins to resist Brainwave because Courtney's trying to reach him by pulling on his heartstrings and saying, "It's me, your daughter." And I'm sure there was got a little dusty in a few living rooms when that happened. But it was a good move. It's typically TV comic book ishy, Ixie, where you appeal to someone's better side and then they step away from the dark side and come back. I think that's what headed him there. And then of course they did the damper thing, and he managed to break free anyway, as long as they were below ground in the tunnels.
I really thought we were going to start seeing like blood or something start coming out.
I thought we did. Coming out of Pat's ear?
Yes.
Did
yeah.
Coming out.
Yeah, it was starting to.
Oh, I missed it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because
it's
that's
kinda
why
dark.
I'm like, he's going to not make it. He's going to start bleeding, or he's going to come right out of it when he starts bleeding or something. Like, that's what I was expecting. I must have missed, like, that he was actually bleeding from his ear, but I was starting to panic. I'm like, no, not the giant robot. We need him.
They should have had S.T.R.I.P.E eject some oil from his ear. Right there.
All coming out of its nose. Yeah, there you go.
So with the dampeners back on, he's free, and Beth comes up with the idea to distract the gambler, because apparently the gambler can only handle one task at a time. He doesn't think about saving his backside, and they drain all his bank accounts and giving all the money to charity, which was pretty funny.
Yes, that was awesome.
I loved all the thank you notes that were coming up.
Yeah.
can we talk 1 second too about Hellcat trying to help Justin very badly? It's like, you're the, what did she say?
That was funny. You're the Silent Knight.
The Silent Knight, thank you.
That was awesome.
Yeah, we just have Rick, what? No. It's like, well, I don't know.
Yeah, no, Shining Knight. I don't know.
I just thought that was kind of funny because I really thought it was going to be something like we had talked about previously, Dave. Like Courtney was going to have to touch them with the staff and then they'd come out somehow. I don't know, short circuit like that, brainwave. But at least Justin came out of it. But I don't know. I still wanted something to happen. Like, I think you had suggested that she like knight him officially with the staff.
Yeah, or open up his shirt and he's got chainmail underneath it or something like that. That'd been cool.
Although for some reason I just get a Dirk the Daring kind of vibe. Like if he was in chainmail, I don't know why. Way back that game too. All right, kids. That's from Dragon's Lair. Yeah. But anyway, let's jump to the JSA versus the ISA.
Oh boy.
Wow. Sounds like a SmackDown ready to go down. All right, enough of my really bad wrestling. Okay. Stargirl and the rest of the JSA make their way into the ISA lair. I'm going to screw up all these letters soon, just so you know.
Oh, it's a tongue twister.
They show up in the middle and it's like, no one's here.
Yeah.
And again, I so felt like after school special, like we were going to get, oh, darn, we just missed them with the hand on the chin. Like, whatever will we do? Well, oh, look, there's a door with a keypad. Perhaps we should go through there. Oh, I don't know about you guys, but seriously, like when they all stop and they're like, huh? Wait, were any of you irritated with that moment? Or was it just me? Because
it's kind of funny to find no one there.
Right.
They hold a party, anyone that's invited, half of them don't show.
True.
It didn't take too long for them to show up there. It takes a while for everyone to get through the tunnels, I guess.
Yeah, I thought they were just going to be like surrounded or something like that. That wasn't annoyed right off the bat. I thought we were going to see
it had to be a
like...
trap. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just something in me. I'm like, really? Nobody? Not even one of the rambling zombie things? Okay.
Yeah. They make their appearance later.
Shiv, like yelling at least from her.
I missed that. That's what I expected that. That's what I expected.
Yeah, nothing.
Hey, let me out so I can kill you.
Right. Hey, I'll help you. Yeah, but we do finally get the fight because the ISA shows up.
Well, did you notice that that was in reverse than the teaser? The ISA was on the left in the teaser and the JSA was on the right, but it was in the opposite for the actual show itself. This is the thing, these things I notice. It bothers me, like, hold on, they're doing it wrong.
Look, right.
Start over.
No, I didn't even notice that.
No, I didn't either.
The ring. Yep.
Now
I watched the trailer so many times I had it memorized. I wanted to see it filled up. I'm like, wait a minute, it's backwards.
Although, when we had them together, because you have Icicle, Sportsmaster, Tigress, and the Dragon King battling S.T.R.I.P.E, Stargirl, Justin, Hourman, and Wildcat, and they start the run. And I'm like, oh, it's Civil War. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I am horrible because I was just comparing to Marvel left and right with some of this. But I'm like, at least it's a much shorter distance for them to run.
Yeah, I know.
But as they start fighting, I'm like, okay, they're going to pair off with their people. Got it. Yeah. And then the gambler, let's get some muscle in here, and releases Solomon Grundy. Now, Shiv ends up getting released, but hers was not on purpose.
Yeah, I had read something. You go through a few recaps and stuff, seeing what other people thought. And one guy goes, yeah, Justin let her out of her cell. I'm like, what? I didn't see that.
No.
So, yeah.
I didn't see that either.
Yeah.
No.
So I looked back at it purposely. When he swings the sword, it hits the door. So he accidentally lets her out or frees up. I mean, that must have been a hell of a swing. But that's what happened. I don't think he did it on purpose. He just missed Dragon King and it clanked off the door. That's how she got out.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, hold on. Nobody just let her out. It was just the big... Because nobody knew she was there. None of our people, I should say.
Yeah.
Knew that she
Makes
was
you wonder
there.
why she couldn't shiv her way out. If you can do it with a sword, how come she couldn't do it with a shiv? She didn't think to pick the lock from her side or something.
Right.
Well, she... At the one episode, she was like using them to try to break...
Yeah, she was swinging at it.
Yeah, try to break the door, but I don't know.
Yeah, I know. That's it. That was her, I don't know, 16-year-old solution.
She got tired. She might chip a nail. I don't know. Although, stupid me, where she puts her hand out. Now, first of all, if that door opens out, why the hell would you reach around with your right hand like you're going to pull it inward. Okay, that bugged me for some reason.
Yeah, I know. It's just push it open, reveal yourself.
Right. And it's like, how long have you been down there? Because your face is dirty, your hair is crazy, but your nails are perfect. Again.
She has makeup on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Is the dirt just like a shading you were using? Like, because you couldn't get out in the sun? What is this? Yes, little things bug the crap out of me. I can't help it. Anyway, back to the actual fight. But we do get the Dragon King getting his comeuppance, kind of. It wasn't Justin, which I was like, seriously, like, oh, when Justin was down, and I'm like, there was words, I don't want to say them right now.
Right.
Words coming out of my mouth that were not good. And then all of a sudden he goes down, and I was like, what? Dragon King? And you see Shiv standing there. She's like, told you. I'm like, oh, this is not good.
No.
She did say she was going to kill him, but still, I still felt as Justin got robbed.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Most definitely. But I don't know anything about the comic version of him, but from looking at her, does he heal as well, or is that
That's
just
what I
him?
was going to ask, actually.
Does he have special healing powers as the
'cause
Silent
she
Night?
seems to.
Oh,
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, I don't think so, because he's aged too. I mean, he's from the Middle Ages in that
Oh,
time.
no, Dragon King.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
thought he might just regenerate.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen, and he didn't. I was like, well, that was anticlimactic. Like, I don't...
They couldn't hang him, or they were going to execute him, but he survived that, so I guess they should have stuck a pen in him or something. I don't know.
That's why I was like, is he really dead? Because we only really see 2 of them that are really dead, which we'll of course cover. But I don't know. I don't think the rest of them are dead. I think they just went into hiding, personally.
At the end of the episode, we can go over the new ISA and the new JSA, and I've got a list. Who's in and who's out.
All right.
And
Okay.
the possibles.
Well, we know Stargirl took down Sportsmaster and happened to help knock Icicle down as well. And I'm just saying, there's some structural damage. So I'm not sure how well that whole place is holding up anyway.
Right.
Pat is taken out briefly by Grundy, but Rick was taken out by him first because, man, he was like, "You're mine." And
It didn't seem like Rick was quite ready.
Quick. Yeah,
When Rick came running in, he just got swatted.
I laughed. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, I did too. So yeah, don't even feel bad, because it's like, oh yeah, see, big ego, you weren't prepared. So he does come back, because I was like, all right, Pat, we can't lose Pat, right? No, we can't. And then Rick's like, I'll do it. And they're fighting. And then it was just getting sad, but we'll get to that.
I thought if Grundy could talk, he was going to say something like, I'm going to open you up like a can of tuna fish.
Yeah.
It was kind of like you expected something. So again, in the comics, was he never able to talk? Because all I remember is from way back watching the cartoons from forever ago when he talked, but he talked really horrible.
He has his poem. But born on a Monday. Huh?
But he doesn't actually say it, right?
In the comics, he does.
Oh, okay. So he talked.
He's musing to himself. Yeah, he's not a big talker.
Well, we get Stargirl and Wildcat then going for the machine.
That's a funny ring you have on your cell phone. Sounds like a barking dog.
Yes, well, the pod dog wasn't too happy with what happened next.
Yeah.
Because, of course, Shiv decides to step in. Oh, my God. Shiv steps in to fight Stargirl because she's not going to let anything go. Girl, you need to, go shower or something. Step away. So Wildcat's going to head to the machine. I don't know what she's going to do, but Wildcat's heading there herself. And she encounters none other than Henry Jr. Now, at this point, I am furiously texting Steve.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh my God, he didn't die. And he's like, I didn't die. I've been hiding. And I'm thinking, oh, his dad doesn't know. He really did have a cocoon. There was a whole lot of stuff that I was saying.
I bought it. I thought it was Henry Jr.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, I want to stop my dad. And even when the moment happens, when Henry makes a mistake, I'm like, what just happened? Is she still pissed?
Yeah, she was that mad.
Yeah.
Seriously, I did not, because I didn't catch it. But Henry's like, I want to stop him. Where are your friends?
Yeah.
And that's like what she realized, which I don't know, because seriously, I bought it hook, line, and sinker, that's actually Brainwave pretending to be his own son.
Yeah.
Because the next thing you know, when she slashes his throat and he falls down, that's when I'm texting Steve. Oh my God. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they should rename Yolanda the Gambler, because that wasn't much to go on.
No.
Where are your friends? I mean, that could have been an honest mistake. What'd you say? The gang. I'm sorry. Oh, that's right. My friends. It makes you wonder. You wondered earlier what she was going to do. She would have had to slash him in his senior iteration, too. If she'd made it all the way down the tunnel and across that bridge or whatever it is, and Henry Sr. was connected to the machine, I mean, how would she stop him unless she was going to slash him?
Yeah.
You know, she can't just wound him, because then he would turn on her. So I don't know. I mean, that's just my musing. I don't know if she had a choice unless she was with somebody else. But she's the one earlier that said to Rick, said to Rick, it's not bad to kill, because he wanted to kill Grundy. And she says, like, God says it's bad. And then the next thing you know.
Yeah. They had quite a switch between the two of them in this episode, which is absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
It was definitely a surprise to me.
Is anybody worried for Wildcat?
Oh, yeah.
I thought she was gonna. Yeah, I didn't know she was gonna prevail. But you know what? It didn't shock me that she did that, because she seems very, very angry.
Yeah. You imagine if she held up a claw and it was like dripping with blood.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Well, and you know, Stargirl blasts Shiv and joins Wildcat, and Courtney is just shocked to see.
Frog in your throat, huh?
Yeah, she didn't know what to think, because she goes, "Did you do that?" Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, do you see all the bodies laid around here? Yeah, anybody else standing?
And of course, Grundy starts just ripping Stripe piece by piece off.
I was freaking out. I'm like, no, not the old car machine.
Yes. Oh, he'll get it put back together in no time.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just spare parts. Come on.
Still, it's like, no, not our transformer.
With the brainwave barrier.
Right.
I mean, I guess he doesn't need it now, but
yeah. So Stargirl and Wildcat make it out to the machine and goes to staffing it down.
Yeah, I'm like, what is she gonna do?
That's a good superhero moment.
Yeah.
Well, at first I'm just like, what is she gonna do? Like, trying to figure out, is she gonna try to take out down below for it to all come crashing down, or she decides to do a Bewitched and ride her staff.
Let
I need a saddle.
Blast it home.
Very Harry Potter-ish. I don't know. Put something on for your feet.
Though, of course, the shot of the two of them running down the catwalk as it's coming down was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I'm like, as she's blasting everything, I'm like, you guys should probably move.
I thought she was going to scoop her. Just scoop her up on the catcher and on the staff, and then later on, Wildcat would catch her.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that. And like, oh man, that's a missed opportunity. How can you not think that?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
So we find Jordan finding Dr. Midnight and Barbara. And of course, he immediately freezes the goggles, knocking Chuck out.
Now, this surprised me. I don't know about the rest of you.
Right.
Because he could have completely just killed Beth.
Yeah.
And he didn't.
Yeah.
So is his heart really in to the killing people part? I mean, he's the bad guy. We know he's killed other people.
I think it is, but not in front of Barbara.
Right. Yeah. He's trying to protect his reputation with Barbara.
He's about to, like,
not at the time.
Not at the time, yeah. That's what I'm going with, too.
Okay. Don't think badly of me now. Wait 5 minutes.
Yeah, when I get to the top of the clock tower.
So, of course, he blasts Beth and takes off with Barbara. And our man holds off Grundy while Wildcat, Pat, and Courtney head to Barb's aid. Of course, Jordan takes Barbara to the top of the tower and shows her what he built. He's the one who brought Blue Valley back.
At this point, I'm like, you had to go up all those stairs.
Yeah.
This is when you pull a classic toddler move and go dead weight.
Yeah.
Just like, nope. Just like, I'm like, nobody's kidnapping me because they got to be able to lift me. Okay, so it's pretty much the same way I'm looking at this.
But like, she's not much of a fighter because he hugged her at least twice, at least once.
I know.
And she's like just folds into his arms and like, Barbara.
Yeah.
You know this is the guy who's trying to kill your family, right?
Yeah. Your little dog, too.
But of course, his trying to convince her is useless, and he decides he's going to kill them all, and Pat appears to distract Jordan from throwing Barbara off the roof, and of course, Jordan is thinking this is a joke. Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah. What are you going to do?
You don't have powers. It's like, and it's just like, really? You have to rely on powers for everything? What kind of person are you? Okay, Voldemort. But anyway,
I thought he was going to say, we have a Hulk. And that was the cute, fairly great big green guy to come in and punch him out.
It just seemed like, all right, you are really all over the place. Nope, not going to kill the kid. Oh, no, Barbara, I could have done so much. I could have cured cancer. Yeah. And I'm throwing you off of this tower. It's like, what? What is happening here?
Yeah, a little comic booky.
Yeah. But Pat replies with our daughter, as Courtney blasts him.
Aww.
Misdirection.
Yeah. And we go back in and check on our man, whose hate is definitely giving him the upper hand.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he was starting to really go to town on him. And Grundy finally raises the white flag. No more, no mas.
Yeah.
He like whimpered too, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. And Rick grabs this big old block of rock and is just about to crush his head. And he sees that Grundy is scared and calls him a dumb animal and tells him to get out of there and never come back again.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
But we did not get the Beauty and the Beast scenario.
I know. I was sad for that. Yeah. You know, I should write these things. They're really blowing it.
Where he like grabbed shivs and she's knocked out and like runs off with her or something.
Yeah.
What did we call it in our last podcast when we did Picard? Wasn't Senior Moment or something?
Yes.
Wasn't it Senior Moment?
Yes.
I just Senior Moment when our man is beating Grundy. I thought of Chinatown. So maybe some of our junior listeners don't know the Chinatown reference, but when Jack Nicholson's character is slapping Faye Dunaway's character, she's going, "My sister, my daughter, my sister, my daughter." I wanted the Grundy to say that until our man / Jack stopped and went, "What?" Anybody see Chinatown? You guys see Chinatown?
I have not.
I'm not.
Oh, you have to. Well, I just spoiled a big part of it, but
yeah, it was Boomer Talk. That's what it was, not Senior.
Boomer Talk.
Boomer Talk.
Boomer Talk. Senior Moment. What's the difference?
Yeah, same thing.
Well, now we have to put that on the list. But we'll watch Chinatown.
Watch Chinatown.
So back on the tower, Icicle, Stargirl, and Barbara are knocked off and starts to fall. Now, of course, Pat catches Barbara, and Wildcat jumps to save Courtney.
I was surprised. Yeah. Not that Wildcat was going to save Courtney, but that she was able to do it, because it still looked like it was kind of a hard landing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't the drop and roll that Courtney did in the lair. She did that several times to keep from really getting hurt worse.
It's like when you guys remember Gwen Stacy? She was a girlfriend of Spider-Man's.
Yeah.
She hit the ground kind of hard, and Spider-Man had webbing on her and just couldn't stop her fall in time, and that's how she dies. And I thought, wow, that's a Gwen Stacy moment, except Stargirl managed to make it through it.
Well, I have a whole different theory with that, Dave, but we'll talk about that off air with Gwen Stacy.
Right.
But yeah, and then Icicle, I'm like, how is he fine, even if he's in his icicle form? He's a freaking block of ice then.
He lost some pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
on the way down, I saw it. I laughed too.
Dropped a couple of cubes.
Oh, did I miss that?
Yeah. But he was still about to take aim at Stargirl and the group when, out of nowhere, we have a truck crushing to pieces driven by Mike and Max.
I'm sorry, that was so funny because when you look, I'm like, the dog is seat belted in.
Yes. And smiling as it runs into Icicle.
And I'm like, is he on the phone book? Because he's not that tall yet.
No.
So now he's a killer too.
Yeah. And all he wants to do is join. Am I in that JSA now?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Okay, so up to this point, Kim, what would you have said about the show? Like up to this point. We're stopping here for a minute.
Okay, wait. So when you say up to this point, do you mean after Icicle got hit by a car, or
Yes.
you mean up to this? Okay. Well, like I said this in the previous episode, I need to eat crow because when I first saw the trailer, I didn't think it was going to be any good, and I really ended up liking Stargirl ever since the first episode. So I really did enjoy it. I did think this particular episode was anticlimactic, kind of, just because the villains didn't seem villainous throughout the whole series, but they seemed like that they were taken by kids in way too easily.
Yeah.
But do you think that could have been explained as they just completely underestimated them?
Yes, but they're also children. I don't know. I thought it would have been a bigger fight, and one of them got taken out by one of their own people too. So it's like, I don't know. But I mean, I enjoyed the episode as a whole up to this point. I just thought that the villains went down a little too easy for my liking, or did they?
Yeah.
All right. I hadn't heard a lot from Kim, so I had to get some feedback there. All right, Dave, why don't you take us into all of our final scenes that seem to keep going, coming up.
We're at the half-hour point, so with the episode.
I looked at the time and like, what are they going to do now?
Yeah, exactly.
You get a coda of sort, and I just have to apologize to Kim there. My superpower is talking too much, and that's probably why she couldn't get a couple of 2 cents in.
Very entertaining.
My evil superpower. So with this coda, everyone meets back at the football field, and it looks like nothing's happened, which is a little strange. I know it gets explained later on, and Pat tells us that still. What happened to all the kids? They didn't see that? I think they did.
We're going to explain that away.
Yeah. There must be one kid that says, hey, I remember this big antenna that came out of the field. Oh, no. You just hit your head in the earthquake. So it's a little sad, though. When you're looking at them, Rick and Courtney are having a little talk, and Rick is really like an adult. It's funny how tall he is, too. You usually don't get him seeing that tall. He stands next to Pat later on. I'm like, geez, I think he's taller than Pat. He seems really adult, and he talks everyone down, and he's calm with Courtney, but I wish he had turned around and looked at, well, he did eventually because Beth was bumming out. She doesn't have Chuck anymore. Chuck's dead. She's lucky she's not dead. But the person I worried about the most was Yolanda, because she was just off in space somewhere.
Yeah. Well, that's something you have to kind of come to terms with, and she wasn't expecting to do it. I think it was more of a knee-jerk reaction.
Therapy.
Yeah.
She invoked God early. It must have been important to her not to kill somebody.
Yeah.
But then she had to do it herself.
Like I said, I think it was more of just a reaction more than her thinking about doing it. When she did.
Yeah. Well, then she still has to come to terms with it,
though.
So
I think it's going to take her a while.
Yeah.
But I was also wondering, and it's kind of going back, how none of the kids, even like older kids, seem to have been infected by brainwave. It's like, you can't tell me that everyone was like, oh, my brain's not fully developed. You don't have anybody
25.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 25.
I think so. Somewhere in that 25 to 30 year range.
Like
25%.
That's why you can't, but that's why you can't rent a car, or you can rent a car, but you have to pay extra until you're 25. They figured it out a long time ago.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
That's when your car insurance goes down too.
That's true.
Oh, brother.
Especially for a male.
So Pat was right. They found a reason to explain away what happened in Blue Valley. It was an earthquake with flying girls and everything.
Right.
And we get a series of like flashbacks and lookbacks, and we get references, and we get to see the Shade finally. Firstly, you don't have that big mural down in ISA headquarters. I thought the Shade was the guy on the far left, but that was the gambler. But wasn't the gambler on the far right?
Yeah, wasn't it the far left was the magician.
Magician, that's it. That's why he's been gone for so long. I forgot all about him.
Right, and the Shade was in the, like a second or third row behind all of them. You could just barely see the glasses
or something. Yeah.
So he just is like, I'm going to have no part of this stupid plan. Is basically what it was, since he's kind of being shown as, oh, I'll take care of this now.
Yeah, he mused that. There's been a lot of discussion on it. He mused that he didn't want any part of it. I don't think he was on the outside looking in. I just thought maybe the plan was so childish or beneath him or so outrageous that it wasn't going to work. So I don't know what he did with his time. All that time, 10 years. I mean, it's been apparently taken 10 years for Jordan to come up with his plan. So I don't know what the Shade was doing all that time. we got an earlier reference, if anybody remembers.
Right.
Shade, he appeared in episode 1, just as this big, like, black hand that pulled Dr. Midnight away and apparently killed him, because we never saw him again either. And it's Beth that took over that mantle. So we did see a clue a long time ago. But, I'm not so sure he was persona non grata. I just thought he took a step back and walked away from it all. And now he decided, maybe
he didn't want
maybe he heard the
anything to
news
do
of the
with plan.
earthquake and maybe decided to come back.
That's when we see him, is we get the shot of the TV announcer saying it was an earthquake, and as they pull back, there he is, and he's like, I told Jordan it wouldn't work.
Right, because all of a sudden he is in the ISA layer. It's like, what? How did that whole place not come down?
Yeah, I thought, it has those big, like, stone pillars.
Right.
I thought someone was going to get slammed into it and it would crumble and the whole thing would start crumbling, but no.
That's what I was expecting, because there was a lot of staff shots and bodies being slammed into that.
Yeah. Yeah, when you get a fight between Our Man and Solomon Grundy, you'd think a few things would get broken.
Unless there's multiple layers and they were just really egotistical and had multiple portraits up here and there.
Oh, brother.
Anything could happen.
I know. So, fortunately, we get some more Cindy time, too, which I really missed. She was so awesome. She was getting so over the top that you loved her for it. They locked her in a box. She gets freed, and she starts rummaging through all these boxes, because if you're looking for something that might have one of the most powerful evildoers in the universe, you definitely put it in a box, inside a box wrapped in tissue paper.
Right. In a storage unit.
Yeah.
Where is with the magician's old outfit.
I know.
It's like, what is this? A room closet somewhere?
I think they hid the Ark of the Covenant better beneath Washington, D.C. than that thing. Yeah. It was cool. I still couldn't make out when she picks it up. She references Eclipso. And I go, okay, that's cool. He's a big bad. And they say it chuckles or it did a little giggle.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear that?
Yes.
I didn't hear it. I've watched it several times. I just can't hear it.
It was like, Kim, I don't know if you can back me up or not. I thought it was like kind of a deeper, like giggle or, like.
I don't hear it. I watch it with the writing at the bottom. What do they call that again?
Closed captioning.
Oh, yeah, that's it. And then I said chuckle, so I'm like, I still can't get it, but whatever. So this thing in the Heart of Darkness is also what that gem is called. That's where Eclipso is trapped. And he used to be like a mid-level villain. His original name was Bruce Gordon, was supposed to be a joke and reference from Bruce Wayne and Commissioner Gordon. That's so dumb.
Yeah.
I think that was a 60s thing. That you could do anything dumb you wanted back then, and people were just like, I'm good with that. So, and then he became a bigger, badder thing, and they kind of retconned him a little, that he was almost like galactic level type of villain, and he used to absorb whatever superheroes, like he would take on Superman, and there was one storyline, he had a castle on the moon, and he would trick people to come to the castle so he could absorb their superpowers, which is eventually destroyed. He was destroyed, and the shards, whatever was left, rained down on Earth, and one of them was this Heart of Darkness where he was trapped. End of story.
Now, when I looked up Eclipso, it said that he was replaced by the Spectre, but the Spectre...
Yeah, because he was the original Wrath of
God.
Wrath of God, yeah. He was supposed to be a good guy. He was the original Wrath of God, but he went evil.
Okay, so the pen will come back into play then at some point.
I hope this is an introduction to the Spectre.
I mean, I feel like if you're going to basically bring in the counterpart, you have to, right?
Yeah. If you're going to introduce a galactic level. And that's why they should have Dr. Fate on the show. I still can't believe he's dead.
I mean, is anybody really dead?
Yeah, I don't know. He's not.
I mean, come on, Dave.
If this guy possesses it, the internet went on fire thinking, well, okay, she's going to release him, and he will eclipse her personality and become part of Cindy. So she'll be able to keep on going around in Blue Valley or as Cindy, but it'll really be Calypso steering the boat.
Oh, geez.
Eclipse. I see what you did there.
Yeah. Well, he's that's how he's colored too, with like half gray and half blue, like he eclipses things. Like, oh, really? That's cornball.
It was the 60s.
Yep.
Said it. Her. Now at this point, I ended up with another commercial, and Jason's like, "It's over, right?" because when it had come back, we're like, no, I knew it was still going. He goes, what is this, something else? I'm like, no, sit down. It's still the same show.
Look at the clock.
What are they doing?
Speaking of introducing this, possibly, the Spectre in seasons to come, there's Yolanda has a cousin, so because Eclipso is famous for killing the second Wildcat, and that's Yolanda. I'm like, are they going to write her character off? Is this guy going to kill Yolanda? And she has a cousin named Alex, and he takes it upon himself eventually to wreak revenge on Eclipso for killing Yolanda. So that's a lot of story to cover in season 2. I don't even know if they're going to go there.
Oh my gosh, if we see an introduction of Alex, then I'm just going to be like,
Yeah, then we're already going to know. We're so screwed.
Yeah. And then we flash forward.
6 weeks later, it's Christmas, and I'm watching it again and taking notes, and my wife's in the other room. She starts singing along to Jingle Bell Rock. I knew she would. I could have called that. It's another sweet moment, and Courtney again gives up the present she's been holding on to, 10 years, and gives it to Pat, and it says "World's Greatest Dad." And I'm pretty sure Barbara was walking out of the kitchen with "World's Greatest Mom" mug in her hand.
Right.
Yeah.
Really? I didn't catch that.
Yeah. Because I
see everything.
I do. That's not much of an Easter egg. And something that else was on the internet. I know people had a problem with it's Christmas and you're leaving because Courtney takes off because her good old. Speaking of staff meetings, here we go. Cosmic staff wants to have a meeting so they can fly up and have some fun. That's my kind of super weaven.
And I'm sitting there thinking,
off, but I'm willing to give her
a winter outfit.
Yeah, yeah, really, a cute little hood with some fur on it. People on the internet thought, hey, how can you leave? It's Christmas. She didn't really leave the Christmas party. It was later on, and she's like looking at the Polaroid in her mirror.
Yeah, she's putting it up like in her room.
Yeah. But we're still
who does Christmas all day?
I'm going to buy my wife some little lights to wear around her neck. I thought that was awesome.
And the dog running off with the turkey.
Yeah. Too bad the shade wasn't at the top of the stairs where he destroys, not Buddy, but
I'm like, don't make me drive to Connecticut.
So we're still not over, and we go over to North Hollywood, California. A man gets out of a car, and soon as I saw him, I'm like, get out.
Okay, now for a second when I see North Hollywood, I'm like, is it going to be the douchey dad?
Right.
I could tell by the ears who it was.
Yeah, me too.
You got to be kidding. And when they switch over, I wasn't even surprised because I figured that was Joel McHale. It's Sylvester Pemberton. He's looking for Pat Duggan. I wish I could, they lingered on the manager or whoever the tenant was there. And they go, is that supposed to be somebody? Like a producer, executive producer.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I have my suspicions. I'll have to look into that. So we get that, and that made the internet explode.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, what?
How do you explain that? I got 4 hash mark notes on how do you explain it. You guys can go through your stuff first. But I just wanted to mention as we close out the main discussion here, when Pat and Courtney take off and they're over that winterscape, that's basically, ironically, Jordan Marquand's Icicle's vision of America. It's all frozen over.
Right.
Yeah. Like, how ironic did they do that on purpose? Hey, it's middle America and it's all frozen on. Happy now, Jordan? Do you think that was weird? That was weird.
Yes. I wonder if was Cameron's doing.
Well, I mean, doesn't it snow where they are?
Yeah, they're in Nebraska, of course.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, if it's not out here where I know it snows, I'm like, wait, they get snow, right?
Yeah.
It's a question mark. But I really huge question mark about Sylvester, about Tuba-Turd, his mom, Jordan's kid. The gambler just kind of like, bye. He's going to erase all his stuff, and he's out.
I went through my list of the new ISA. So you want to discuss Sylvester Pemberton theories first, or do you want to go to the new rosters of the ISA and JSA?
Oh, Kim, why don't you choose?
I would say the new rosters because I, again, I'm like, all of their villains, died so quickly. And
see, I really don't think they're dead, most of them, but...
I'm just like I told you, I clutched my pearls when Bowen went down. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Was that it? So,
Dave, take us away with the new roster.
Well, okay. First of all, we got Shiv, right? Can we agree on that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And it could be Shiv Eclipso. It could be a combination, but Eclipso will be there too, right?
Yeah,
I
think
would
so.
say
I
yes.
assume so.
Yeah. The gambler isn't dead, so he's going to be out there. He's going to have to go back to gambling, I'm assuming, to make his money back.
Oh, yeah. That was a whole lot of money he lost.
Yeah,
That
he had a
was
lot of money.
hilarious.
The Shay will be there, and the Shay's supposed to be super powerful, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know? So there's 4 there. Now, you don't see a body, they're not dead. So Tigress and Sportsmaster? Question mark.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I mean,
question
they
mark.
got
I
knocked
don't-
out.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
don't
so-
think they were killed.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. Now, on top of that, we got Artemis Croc.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Then there's Isaac Bowen.
Yeah.
Is he going to be the next fiddler? There is another fiddler in the comic books. Another fiddler does appear. And, of course, there's Cameron. And Cameron, we got a little hint of his blue breath when he blew out that cupcake birthday candle when he and his father were trying to remember the wife and mother.
Right.
So that's a huge list. Can you think of anybody else? I mean, if Tigress isn't dead, maybe she gets to train Artemis Croc. But if she is dead, then, of course, Artemis Croc takes over.
Right.
So
Maybe Artemis takes over for both her and Sportsman.
Yeah,
Like
maybe.
a combo villain there.
Yeah, like Shiv and Eclipso.
There you go.
Do you think his son would be? I mean, again, I don't know about the comics, but do you think he'd be that easily turned? He just doesn't seem like the type.
Who, Isaac or Cameron?
Cameron.
Yeah, well, if he does turn, it's because he finds out that Courtney and the rest had a hand in killing his father.
Well, you
Or
know-
he's going to zero in on Mike.
And knowing the grandparents,
Oh, yeah, I
he'll
was
know.
gonna say,
yeah.
Exactly.
Sure.
You know damn well they're going
Yeah.
to be like, oh, you know who did this, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Isaac is already there. I mean, you can see it in his eyes.
It's-
Yeah, he's there. So that's about 9 right there that we can think of off the bat. For the new JSA, of course, we have Stargirl. But they're not necessarily new because they're still going to be there. They'll have to reform the ISA. And we have Stripe.
yeah.
Raise your hand if you want Mike as part of the JSA.
I feel like he should be like comms or something.
Yeah.
Like him and Beth kind of working on stuff together. I don't know how techie he is, though. I mean,
I
we
bet
see
he's
that-
pretty techie because he's
I would
always
say we've seen him do stuff, yeah.
He knows how to use a
playing
power
games.
drill.
Yeah.
But can I say, why the hell have we not been to the JSA like layer other than the one time? Take kids there, start prepping stuff so you at least hide. I don't know. And bring back all of the stuff because we have the lantern out, we have the pen out. What else do we have out? The goggles, I don't think they're down and out.
Yeah, that was my next.
that pair, I think there's backup.
That was on my list right after Mike. What about Beth? I mean, she has nothing going for her except her superpower is talking too, like me.
So I think those two together working in the JSA area, like doing techie stuff, work creating whatever, doing computer programs, I think that's going to be a thing, but maybe that's just me.
I think they hinted heavily that Rick had a lot of the. He didn't have his father's education, but he knew how to read his notes and book. He just couldn't get that number.
Right.
So maybe they're going to work together. Rick, our man, will help bring the goggles along. He seemed pretty confident that they could do it.
Yep.
And of course, we have Yolanda, and there's Justin and the 7 soldiers. He's going to go look for him. I hope Justin is a recurring character.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that he's going to be finding them and bringing them back.
That'd be cool.
Yes.
Which would be lead me to my last member of the new JSA, which would be Sylvester Pemberton. And I have a tinfoil hat theory.
Let's don our tinfoil hats, people.
First of all, Sylvester Pemberton, how did he get back? Anybody got any theories?
Nope, because I thought we seen him die and pass on.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, did he fake it?
Did he fake dying?
Why would you fake dying for 10 years and keep your best friend out of it? Right?
And give him your staff.
Right. Yeah, right. That doesn't make sense.
No.
Is he a clone?
Oh, geez.
Let's hope not. Here's a good one I saw on the internet. He's from Earth Prime because it's been established that Stargirl takes place on Earth 2.
Right.
So that would be
Thank you,
pre-crisis.
Flash.
Yeah. That would be pre-crisis when all the Earths joined the one to bring all the superheroes together. If you follow the Arrowverse, that's what happened.
Right.
But I guess whatever this battle took place, the Flash should have been there. But I don't know. They had a Flash. They had a senior Flash, Jay Garrick. He died to start with. If you have Jay Garrick, you should have Wally West and Barry Allen. So my last nominee, if he isn't, maybe he's from Earth Prime. He's the same Sylvester Pemberton from a different Earth. That's a good theory. But my theory, drum roll please, that he was part of the 7 soldiers originally. If you go and look for him,
Right.
he's in the picture
Yes.
as the Star-Spangled Kid. So Justin's going to hit the road looking for the seven soldiers, and he's going to find them. And he'll say, yeah, I wasn't Starman. I was the Star-Spangled Kid. You can fill in the blanks on the rest of it, but I think that's how he's going to join. Or maybe part of the Earth Prime. Maybe he's a Star-Spangled Kid or Earth Prime, and Justin's going to find him. He'll be part of the seven soldiers because that's how he existed in a different storyline and maybe a different Earth. Who knows?
No, yeah, I can almost see that because we have them all, the seven soldiers all sent out in different time periods.
Yep, they're all.
Oh, that's how they dispersed.
Right. So this could have been the original Star-Spangled Kid that has come to actually ended up in this timeline again, like Justin did.
Yep.
That would be interesting. And who would get the cosmic staff?
Oh my God.
Well, he didn't have the cosmic staff as the Star-Spangled Kid. He was just a kid, and Stripesy, as he knew Stripesy back then, Stripesy was an adult.
Right.
As was it had the Green Arrow and Speedy and Shining Knight or Silent Knight, the Vigilante and the Crimson Avenger. That was the pre-crisis Seven Soldiers of Victory. So maybe that's how he exists. He's just an older guy now. He's looking for Pat.
Yeah.
This is so weird. And then you're right. I had read something that they did confirm that this did all take place in the same, in the multiverse, but I didn't see that it was Earth 2. But that they said it's possible. They're waiting for them to establish this show before they do any crossovers, because the easiest way to do the crossover is, of course, with our time traveling group, Legends of Tomorrow.
Right.
And I'm like, well, you know what? If it brings Constantine in, I'm okay with that. But it's really strange because I feel like they're adding on. And then we find out, if you follow the Arrowverse, we'll say Lucifer is even part of this.
Yes.
So it's like really confusing. So it's not that I want this to be a microcosm, but I kind of want them to establish everything that's going on. So I could get a feel for these characters before you bring in the other ones that we know. I mean, I don't know, Kim, you watched a lot of the DC shows previous to this, right?
Yeah, I watched all of them.
Because I didn't watch all of them. How would it really slide in with the rest of them?
Well, they'll figure it out. I mean, they get a whole bunch of views for their crossovers, and I think they said they wanted to establish Batgirl too, and then bam, she was right in the middle of it. I think they did the backdoor pilot from a crossover, and then she was in the crossover the next season. So I mean, it would make sense, and that's how they get him back into this. So I mean, I think that's a really cool theory. Even though you say it's tinfoil hat, I'm like, that would be really actually pretty cool.
Yeah. And the last possibility is it's something evil that's a shapeshifter and taking his form. We can't eliminate that possibility. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? When he said clone, I thought, well, wait, if the body was down and Ito was in that place and Ito's been experimenting with dead bodies.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Really going for way out there theory. But
he referred to his daughter as his greatest experiment, but the rest of them said she was the worst experiment. Maybe this guy was another experiment.
It could be.
Oh my gosh. So many things. So many questions. Well, you guys know how we feel. We, of course, want to know how you feel. Shoot us an email at contactus@fangirlzone.com. And while you're at it, you can rate and review us on iTunes and every other platform you find us on, because good ratings and reviews help other fans of the show find us. But now you can tell your friends. They can totally binge watch this, talk about your theories, send them to us, because I have a feeling that somewhere midpoint before the new season, we're all going to be getting together talking about theories of what if at this point, because I don't have a clue how with the ending things are going to happen. But beyond that, while you're surfing the web and going down deeper and deeper in the rabbit hole, why don't you stop by the Fangirl Zone? And you can check out our website, www.fangirlzone.com. Our contacts page is there and the easiest way to find us. And you can also head over and find Miss Kim over at the Nerd Element And Kim, why don't you tell them everywhere else they can find you?
Yeah, just www.thenerdelement.com and then all forms social media at The Nerd Element.
See, that would have made so much more sense if we did that with the Fangirl Zone. But no, we decided to be unique. And that's why I can't ever remember the places we are. But for this episode of Star Power Podcast, I am Sean Fangirl S.
I'm Steve. They were Henry's friends too. I watched Henry die. Now I'm going to watch you die.
Hope you weren't looking at me when you said that. And this is Dave. And if Isaac Bowen comes back next season as the Fiddler's son, I hope he comes back to the ISA with a new name, Tuba Turd.
And until next time.